Good morning and welcome to the 2022 Visions Week. We are here at Mid-America. We are about to kick off Ultra 4 Racing presented by Progressive Insurance. I am Miles Hasquez. Right next to me is Mrs. Pam Hall, and we are going to start out with the 4600 Spider Track Stock Class. They're going to race by themselves. After pre-running yesterday, the course was starting to fall apart. Like I said, the stock class is a very tight-knit group, and they kind of came and banded together and said, hey, let's talk with JT. We feel like we're going to be a little slower because these long climbs were really loose. The ruts are really starting to set in, and they wanted to race by themselves so it didn't affect anybody else's race. So they kind of talked it through. So we made that changes. It's more of a safety issue than anything. So at the top left, you can see the start, and they're going to do one car at a time every 1 minute. And I think dust is going to be the issue today, Pam.
I 100% agree with you on the dust for sure. It was dusty out here yesterday, just during the pre-run and just during qualifying. But it's awesome that they did come together and they were wanting to, make sure safety's first, because that's what it's all about, to have their own race this morning. We have such a large car count in every single class that it's awesome to be able to do this for the 4600 stock class, because we do have 12 cars that will be taking the green flag this morning.
And they will be, like I said, 1 minute increments. This race is on adjusted time. This is a 5-mile loop they did, and we are off the line. That is our pole setter, Vaughn Gittin Jr. off the line. So Vaughn Gittin Jr. out of Concord, North Carolina with Fun Haver Off-Road Team in that brand new Ford Bronco with that factory engine and transmission. IFS with Portal, Spider Tracks, Fox, Nitto, Monster, Optima, MBRP, VP Racing Fuels, Warren, Factor 55, Rugged, Shell Rotella, Project X Lights, Holly EFI, Recaro, Gear Wrench, RTR, and Center Line Wheels. So Vaughn Gittin Jr. was on that pole, so he gets those 7 extra points, and with that qualifying time of a 1:13 yesterday.
And what's really cool about the way we're doing it this morning, we are utilizing the short course as well, as long as out in the woods with the rest of the track. So they're actually racing on the short course that we have done with the side-by-side championship series. And last night was our final, or our main events were happening last night.
And where Vaughn is right now is about where the normal classes will take a left going down the hill. But this is the only stock bypass we have. We go all the way down to the end of the short course. And off the line right now is Mr. Brad Level, number 4621 out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, with Level Racing. And he just got introduced in the Off-Road Hall of Fame. I saw it this morning.
Oh, awesome.
So he is in the 2022 class. So a huge shout out to Brad Level. He has absolutely earned it. He's in a 2021 Ford Bronco as well. Factory engine, transmission, and transfer case. IFS with Portal, Spider Tracks, RCV, Amsoil, Method, BFG, Fox, Warren, and ARB. And speaking about Amsoil, Scott Rain will be in the Amsoil hot pits. And if I'm not mistaken, Brad Level has not lost a race. He's entered this Bronco in.
Exactly. You're 100% correct on that. And next off the line is going to be the number 13 of Bailey Cole here very shortly. But you can see right there, they're going through where the other day where we did the Bounty Cup, they're going up the stock class hill. And that is off the line right now, Mr. Bailey Cole that we hear in the background.
Out of Temecula, California with Bailey Cole Racing. He's in another. So all 3 Broncos, 1, 2, 3. How wild is that? 4 Broncos got to be excited. And don't forget there's contingency money. So if one of these 3 wins, they'll get an extra $2,000. So Bailey Cole Racing with a 2021 Bronco called Tigger. Factory engine and transmission, IFS with Portal, Spider Tracks, Yukon, 4-wheel parts, Fox, Warren, VP, and Vision. And speaking about Yukon, he's part of Yukon.
Exactly.
Bailey Cole has really stepped up in a huge way. And if we're watching Vaughn Gittin Jr. on screen, that is the Amsoil hot pits as we speak. It is wide open racing on the left side and then the hot pits on the right. So and there's a Jumbotron for the pit guys down there. It is so awesome. We'll hopefully be able to check in with those with Scott and the rest of the gang later on today. And I think tires are going to be an issue today, so I think that Amsoil hot pits is going to be exciting.
Tires are definitely going to be an issue. People had issues yesterday during their pre-running. So, but on the screen, when you saw Vaughn going across the ridge by our American flag, you could just see the dust kicking up. It's already not moving very much. It's just kind of lingering and settling right where it was at. But next off the line is going to be the 4605 of Albert Contreras.
With his son Tristan riding shotgun out of Compton, California with Jeep Thrills Off-Road. He's in a Jeep JL with a factory engine transmission, Atlas, King, Raceline, Mickey Thompson, and Mastercraft. Albert brings his whole family all the time, and wow, look at this. Vaughn Gittin Jr. already coming down the Bronco Falls, made quick work above the Rigid Ridge. He'll go through the switchback rhythm section and then head back for another little section.
He did definitely made quick time on that for sure. And the Bronco Falls right there, 1, 2, and 3 this morning, right off the line, 3 different Broncos. It's very steep yesterday in qualifying. You could see where a lot of the guys were nosediving in there, and it doesn't look like it from the camera view, but it's a very steep drop off right there. And Von Gittin is already all the way through. And then next off the line is the 4628 of Alex Fleming.
With Will Oliver riding shotgun out of Fort Collins, Colorado with Sherpa Motorsports in a 2004 4Runner. IFS, Stock V8, Yoda Mafia, Yukon, Nexon Tires, Warren, Optima Batteries, Factory 55, King, and Black Rhino.
I saw them coming in the other day, and the later evening, they had a long trip here from where they're from, and lots of cars that came from the West Coast. And it's awesome to see because we're kind of like in the middle ground here. I've heard a lot of drivers saying how awesome it is to,
we are
meet
in
the
Central
middle.
America,
exactly.
absolutely.
Meet in the middle. So it's a kind of a neutral area here, which is awesome for these drivers to come from both West and East Coast. Next off the line is going to be the 4688 of John Schaefer.
With Ryan Cowan riding shotgun out of Birmingham, Alabama. He is in the first place in the Eastern Division. With RPM Extreme, he's in a Savvy-built 2015 Jeep JK with a stock drivetrain with Curry axles, ADS, Falcon, Raceline, Sparco, and RPM Extreme. And that's the drag strip area we're blowing by as we speak.
And tonight that will be open for everybody to go to and have some fun on. We'll light up the track. We have so much going on later on, Miles.
It is a jam-packed. They are doing pit bikes right now. They're doing the RC track right now. So go to go get on that MAO app. You can choose exactly what link you want to go to. So switch back and forth if you'd like, but it's going to be an amazing day. And next off the line is Mr. John Williams, number 4623 with Murray, out of Murray, Utah with Active Air. He's in a 2021 Jeep JL with a 2.0. Stock Auto Trans and transfer case. He's got Dynatrack 60s with ARB and Active Air technology. BFG tires, Hutchinson wheels, SDI E-Click shocks. He's the first place in the West and the National Division here at Ultra 4 Racing, presented by Progressive Insurance.
That area back there by the drag strip is well watered, and they're having there's not a lot of fast straightaways out here. So you have one back there by the drag strip. You have the Rigid Ridge, which isn't going to be a super fast section because there are some big dips. But over here, there is, by the American flag, there's a pretty fast section that they can go through. But for the most part, there's not a lot of really fast sections out there on race course.
Well, speaking about fast, I just got a touch base with Scott Rain, who's in the Amsoil Hot Pits. He says it's extremely dusty up there, and I guarantee the big boys and gals will be doing over 100 miles an hour blowing by there later on today.
Because they can stay at speed through the hot pits.
Next to the hot pits.
Next
the
to the hot
pits
pits.
is a 25 miles an hour if you enter it.
Yes.
So off the line next is, yes, it is Mr.
John.
Kendall Glines with his son Caden or Brexton. They kind of switch up on me. Out of Midvale, Utah with Glines Motorsports. They're in a Jeep with a 4-liter stock Auto Trans Dana 300, Yukon, King, Optima, MRT, KMC, Terraflex, Factor 55, Nemesis Industries, and Lone Peak Collision.
It's such a great drone footage that we have out there this morning. Our drone pilots, we're going to have them all over here. This area, the short course by the hot pits. And you were talking to Josh with the drones this morning, and you were asking him how far out can these drones go? And it's pretty cool to have them going so far. Last year, I think we went through the barn area. This year, we're not going through that. But, yeah, he can't quite make it all the way there, but where we're at this year, he will be able to.
You're saying last year. That was earlier this year in March, wasn't it?
March. Yes, it was.
So
gosh, it's gone by.
Already, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Kendall Glines heading out.
Look at the dust that was just on screen right there. Next off the line is going to be the 4653 of Tom Biddle.
Out of Longmont, Colorado with Trail Rig Racing in a 1985 Toyota pickup with a 22 RE. W56A transmission, dual Toyota T-cases, trail gear, Fox, BFG, Raceline, PRP, ADS, and Filthy Motorsports. So we should have 12 4600 Spider Track stock class take the line.
In the background, that's Albert Contreras right there.
Oh, that is John Williams.
John Williams.
He's at the America Pro Rock Knockout Hill. Not sure exactly what he's doing. Oh, he was a little off course. He turned a little too early, but now he's figured it back out, going through the flags.
I thought something was going on because I saw him backing up and stopping, but that's good that he just realized exactly where he was at. That knockout hill is definitely, yesterday watching that, those guys are insane what they do with the bouncers and doing those knockouts. It's so much fun to watch.
Off the line now is number 4681, Mick Henson, fairly local out of Tahlequah, Oklahoma, with Henson Racing. He's at a 1981 Toyota pickup, running a 22 RE on propane, King shocks, and BFG tires. That little Toyota that could is taking on.
It's pretty awesome to see that Toyota out here. I mean, it definitely doesn't look like...
Speaking about Toyota, there's another Toyota on screen, Mr. Tom Biddle.
That Toyota definitely doesn't... Oh, we have Von Gittin coming through for his first lap already.
Wow, finishing his
Let's...
first lap. Pam, keep us honest. Remember, you can go to live.ultra4racing.com to keep up with all of our live timing.
So it was a 9-minute, 50-second.
So I called 14 minutes earlier, and we're already sub 10 minutes. Wow, wow,
And this is the stock class.
So they're going to be done in a half hour. Wow. So Von Gittin Jr. and I believe Eric Davis is riding shotgun. Not sure if it's Lauren Healy or not. But Von Gittin Jr. already out ahead of the pack. So we haven't even gotten everybody off yet, and he's already through. So off the line now is the number 4680
of Tyler Sims.
Simons. He's running a Ford, Maxxis tires, Raceline wheels, and Radflow. And last but certainly not least, the number 4698 of Henry Lucci out of Lakeside, California, with Death Proof crawlers. He's in a Jeep, Nitto tires, Raceline, and King. So there was a steep little hill out back. There was an either-or, a brand-new hill that was cut last Tuesday. I showed up on Wednesday to kind of help JT do a few things, and the hill was extremely loose, and we assumed it would break in. Mm-hmm. Well, it broke apart. It was so rutted out that they ended up cutting that part of the trail out. It was a 5.2 mile loop, but now we cut it down to about a 5-mile loop.
That's awesome. Miles, as you were talking and I was looking at you, I saw Brad Level behind you going off of the jump that he launched off, and his time was a 10-minute, 14-second. So Von Gittin is about a minute and a half ahead of Brad Level on time.
Yeah, and they started off in 1-minute increments. Henry Lucci in that Ford Bronco getting chased down by a Ford Bronco. So where's Bailey Cole? I suspect to see him coming in the next minute or two.
Yes, if they're going to have that kind of time between them, I don't foresee it being very long before we see Bailey Cole. And we have so many seasoned drivers out here.
And it sounds like we have Scott Rain down at the Amsoil Hot Pits. So let's have a quick check with Scott.
Hey, Miles, Pam, it is crazy dusty up here in the hot pit area. There's no breeze, it's just hanging. We might as well be in the Baja 1000 right now out in the silt bed, because every time a vehicle goes by, whether it be the crews, whether it be the race cars, they are kicking major amounts of dust, and the wind is non-existent and is not taking it away.
Well, thank you, Scott. And yeah, it looks like the dust is hanging right behind you. It's going to be, and I'm telling you, the later the day goes on, they're going to get faster. It's going to get dustier. It's going to be a wild day. So
hopefully
Scott's going to get a little dusted out there. But hey, they got a Jumbotron. They've got water. They've got bathrooms. They're still sitting pretty for some Ultra 4 racing.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a dusty day out there. His clothes are not going to be the color they are right now for sure. Hopefully a little bit of a breeze picks up.
And there is Bailey Cole. We did see him come through with a 10:34 lap time.
So he's 2 minutes 46 seconds behind Von Gittin and a minute 20 behind Brad Level.
This is a 3-lap race, so right at 15 miles, and I guessed a 14-minute lap. Usually I'm pretty close. I was way off today. So these guys are really, really turning it up today.
You're usually really on it, Miles, for sure.
So, yeah, this race will be over, or the winners should be in here about 7:30 to 7:40.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long day of racing, but it's going to go by so fast because their lap times are so quick. It's almost kind of like a short course style
with
Ultra 4 race, which is a little bit
sprint
of
endurance. Let's
there
call
you
it that.
go. There you go.
So there we blowing by the AMSOIL hot pits as we speak. There's Scott's Ford Mustang, that bright red one right there. There's Tom Biddle getting passed by Vaughn Gittin Jr. in the switchback rhythm section. Vaughn is on a mission, that Ford Bronco. And again, I'll say it again. If you're running a Ford body or clip or grill, you get $1,000 if you win your class. If you're running Ford Performance, you get another $1,000. So if Vaughn Gittin Jr. can win this race, he'll get $2,000 of Ford contingency money, as well as a pretty good check from Ultra 4 Racing.
And I'm wondering, we'll see if, you got a couple more laps to go, but we'll see if these Broncos stay 1, 2, and 3.
Hey, to finish first you must finish. There's a lot of trees, there's a lot of dust, and now lap traffic's already becoming an issue. Wow, we're gonna have to be starting the UTVs. There's 50 UTVs.
58.
Golly, we're gonna be sitting 2 at a time every 5 or 10 seconds. I don't know. It's gonna be wild.
Well, yeah, 2 at a time is gonna be awesome to see. What's going to be cool is when they go off the start and they make that slight little right-hand turn and then they go up into a hairpin. That hairpin, you can't see where that turn is, but there are some flags that we have out. That is where you can, being in the racetrack last night, you can see the flags. That's your marker where you know you need to start making that turn.
John Williams was just in screen, and now that's Kendall Glines, I believe. If you are just tuning in, we thoroughly appreciate each and every one of you. This is the 2022 Visions Weeks here at Mid-America Outdoors, and we are racing the 4600 Spider Track stock class with Ultra 4 Racing, presented by Progressive Insurance. Again, I'm Miles Hasquis, and Pam Hall is next to me. We'll be with you from now up until about 4 o'clock. We have got some wide open racing all day long.
About 4 o'clock, and then at 5 o'clock we're going to do the awards ceremony. Then we're going to move on into the switchback. It's just one thing after another today. It's going to be a fun day. What a way to end Visions Week with Ultra 4 Racing.
It's been awesome,
absolutely. Yes, every day has been an amazing day out here. I can guarantee you if you did not come this year and you're watching all the social medias, you definitely want to make sure that you sign up and come next year.
And that was Bailey Cole blowing by the AMSOIL hot pits and now heading into the Rigid Ridge.
That Rigid Ridge, like I was saying earlier, it's not really a fast section right there because there are dips. There's some pretty good dips in that.
Alex Fleming coming through the start-finish line.
Alex Fleming, let's see, his time was a 12:09.492.
Let's give a full rundown. So Vaughn Gittin Jr. out front, then Brad Lovell, Bailey Cole, Alex Fleming, Albert Contreras, and then we haven't seen John Schaefer yet.
Not quite yet, but he has hit a marker at some point, but he will be hopefully coming in here very soon. He's on screen right there.
So we will see him very shortly. And there's Mr. Bailey Cole, number 13, once again in that Ford Bronco. And I believe McKenzie's riding with him. I'm not 100% sure, but I did hear that was a possibility.
Yes. I spoke with her the other day when they got here, and she had mentioned she was riding with them. I'm pretty sure it still followed through, but not 100% positive. And Alex Fleming on screen. Now we call that the Talladega turn in the short course series. It's a very steep, obviously hairpin turn right there, and we have included that into this. I love that the short course is being utilized for the Ultra 4 racing today.
Yeah, it's great to see. We do the short course. We add a little uphill, and then our for the rest of the day, they'll come down a V-notch right in the middle of that section. Yeah. It's pretty gnarly little spot, so it'll be a lot of fun to see how it all shakes out. At the top of your screen there was the main stage. We've had lots of amazing acts. We had Low Cash earlier in the week. We had Buck Cherry, Blackstone Cherry. Here comes John Schaefer through the start-finish line with a 12:36. Mm-hmm. So Albert Contreras and John Schaefer are 2 seconds apart on their times. And then Vaughn Gittin and Brad Lovell will only split up by 25 seconds. It's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. But a sub-10-minute
already.
So what are we going to do? The 4400s and the UTVs are going to be...
They're going to be like 7 minutes.
I'm going to say 8. Man, that's a lot of time to shave off. I'm going to say an 8:22.
But the car count for both of those classes, that's going to be the factor. That's what's going to slow them down.
You're right. So I'm going to say, I'm going to stick with my 8:22. We'll see if that sticks. But the dust and lap traffic is absolutely going to be an issue later on today. So I think that was an amazing idea for the stock class to start out earlier, because now next race will be the 4500 and the 4800 classes going.
And between those, let's see, what is our car count between those two classes? We'll have 31 cars out on course.
Right now we have 12, so it'll be over double of what we have right now.
Look, and there's Barbie Jeep Hill right there that we did yesterday on screen.
That was a lot of fun. That's definitely a crowd favorite. We had a lot of fun with that last night.
That was being talked about. It was the most spectated event out here this weekend. And on screen there is the 4680 Bronco right there of Mr. Tyler Simons. So we have had 7 vehicles come across and complete their first lap so far today. And between John Schaefer, who is the last one that has completed his first lap, and Vaughn Gittin Jr., there is a 7-minute and 47-second gap between them.
Hey, Pam, I just got a confirmation. The Dusty Drone tells me Kinsey is in the car with Bailey, so that's a lot of fun.
Thank you very much for giving us that information.
There's Tom Biddle coming through screen, I believe. Yes, that is at the Recaro Rise section, so that's at the far back of the track. And look how much traffic's back there. That is.
But we have somebody
John
right behind.
Williams, and then
Is that Vaughn Gittin?
That was a Bronco. I couldn't tell which Bronco that was. But look how dusty it is. Look at the lap traffic as we see Albert Contreras coming through the switchback section as we speak.
That was not Vaughn Gittin because he's coming through right now.
Yes, that was Brad Level. That was going to be my guess.
So his time changed on that one. So he went from a 9:50 lap to a 10:19 lap. But
with more lap traffic and more dust.
Right, exactly. That's exactly where I was going to go with that. It's either the dust or the lap traffic that slowed him down, or he already knew that he had a decent time gap and just wanted to take it easy. He's got one more lap to go. But what a way to
We're 10 minutes away from it. If Vaughn Gittin Jr. keep this pace, he may win this race. So let's give a quick shout out to Can-Am, Ford, Bronco, Monster, Optima, 4 Wheel Parts, Progressive, Holly, Lasernut, Griffin, VP, Nitto, King of the Hammers, Amsoil, Method, Axial, PCI, Spider Tracks, Recaro, Baja Jerky, IRB, Rigid, Brannick, Tread Lightly, Action Sports Canopy, Warren, Factor 55, HCR, Yukon, MBRP, and Off the Grid Clothing. So please support who supports the sport. Without all these amazing marketing partners, we would not be racing here today at Mid-America Outdoors during Visions Weeks for Ultra 4 Racing. As Vaughn Gittin Jr. heads up and around the little rock section outside of the short course. This is a 5-mile lap. There's one stock bypass, a few either-ors out there. You have to stay within 25 feet center of course. It's going to be a great day of racing, but I think the dust, the heat is going to definitely take its toll as we work our way through the day. And speaking about working our way through the day, I'll give you kind of a rundown on exactly what is going on. So we are racing the 4600 Spider Track stock class as we speak. Up next at 8 a.m. till 9:30 will be the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class and the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. And then from 10:30 a.m. till noon will be the 4900 Can-Am UTV class. We'll have 3 classes racing at the same time there. And then we'll take a quick lunch break, and from 1 to 3 will be the 4400 Unlimited race. So be sure to stay tuned in all day long. Get on that MAO app. Check it out. Go to ultra4racing.com/live. Get on the Ultra 4 and MAO Facebook and YouTubes. Share it. Start a watch party. Hashtag it up. Let's make some Ultra 4 racing great.
All right, so that last lap, Brad Level came through. He actually slowed down as well, so he is at a 10:41.135, but he has closed the gap at 1:48.215.
So the first 3 have not switched up, but Alex Fleming was able to get around Albert Contreras. And John Williams got around John Schaefer on adjusted time. They did take off in 1-minute increments. And look how dusty it is. That was right next to the drag strip up top. We're back to Bailey Cole on screen.
So many seasoned drivers out here. We do have a lot of new drivers. And did you see him launch just now?
Yes, you saw that on screen. He floated that absolutely perfect. The rear tires just barely touched the downslope. This is a great show. Bailey Cole's running a smooth race, but he's still sitting in that 3rd position. He's got one more lap to turn it on. So what do you do here? Do you save the car, or do you just give it all you got and see what happens?
So he's the only one that has stayed slightly consistent on his lap time. His first lap time was a 10:34.78. 10:08, and this lap time was a 10:35.005. So he has definitely either picked up his pace or he hasn't had as much lap traffic and dust as the other drivers. But he will soon be getting into it.
Those Ford Broncos are going to be hard to beat, I'll tell you that, as he's going into the Talladega turn as we speak. See some of our marketing partners at the top of that. So if you there is so much to do here today. We've got RC racing, we've got pit bikes, we've got Ultra 4, we've got the pool, the lazy river, the splash pad, we've got live music off and on, we have the axe throwing, the wall of death, we'll have music tonight, we have an auction tonight, and then we have the switchback at 6 p.m. That's the little rhythm section. It'll be side-by-side drag race, single elimination, and we'll be running Ultra 4s, pre-runners, rock bouncers, and mega trucks. So it's going to be a wild night, and then we have a skydiver coming in, bringing in the flag for our ceremony.
That's amazing.
And then we're going to have an amazing fireworks show sometime tonight as well.
And the other thing too, Miles, I don't haven't heard you mention
Simon's
it.
on screen. Keep going.
But the switchback, 100% full.
Yep.
Just
it's
said
going to be awesome. So there's Bailey Cole entering back into the short course area. And look at that Bronco. It is just floating. I've seen him doing a lot of testing and tuning lately.
It's very
smooth.
smooth.
They've got it really dialed in.
Well, and Vaughn came out here. I can't remember what day he got here, but he's been taking his daily driver Bronco out on the trails here. These Broncos are amazing what they can do with out on these race course and just out trail riding.
Just saw Henry Lucey coming through. So right here in just a second, Bailey Cole's going to have to take a hard right and go up the America Pro Rock knockout hill as he does that. We know Sean's in the AMSOIL hot pits rooting on his team, and I haven't seen anybody stop in the hot pits. We'll have to touch in with Scott at some point once again, but I really thought tires are going to be an issue, but apparently during pre-running they've done good. There's the Recaro Rise with John Schaefer, and look how dusty it is. That is amazing. I feel bad for our camera crew. Again, give a huge shout out to our entire media staff. We have Take It Live, Rock Racing TV, and Live Race Media, bringing you 3 live production crews. It takes a ton of behind the work scenes. So just again, a huge shout out to everybody that makes this happen. Kayla's behind the scenes, hitting the screens, showing it up, and we're heading by the AMSOIL hat pits as we speak. And now we're back into the switchback rhythm section with Brad Lovell. There is Kendall Glines, I believe, getting ready to. He just crossed over. Oh, he's coming back into the short course. Sorry about that.
Okay, so we have Vaughn Gittin Jr., Brad Lovell, and Bailey Cole. They are all out on their 3rd lap already.
So the stampede of Broncos is going to be hard to beat. I was expecting extremely good things from them, and they are proving that it's really cool to see Ford step up in a huge way with this OEM and making waves. So I expect to see Vaughn Gittin Jr. in here within the next 2 minutes if he can keep up his average lap time. Kendall Gline still chugging along.
Going just a little bit slower this morning on that lap just now.
What a wonderful day it has been, and we are just getting started. There's Henry Lucey right there heading up the knockout hill. Oh, I do see Albert Contreras coming in. I visually see him. He does have a right rear flat tire.
Oh, and the first flat, but he has to go all the way to the hot pits before he can get
He doesn't
that change.
have to. He's got a spare on the back, but if it was me, I'd go around.
Yeah, 'cause he's really, in reality, not that far from the AMSOIL hot pits right now.
Yeah, he's got to go around the entire short course.
Just kills the time a little bit, but Albert Contreras just came through. His first lap was a 12:02.142. It almost looks like he had the same exact lap time.
Again, we want to give a huge shout out to Jason and Gayla Robinette for pulling this all together. All of our volunteers, the entire Ultra 4 and Mid-America Outdoor crew, all the media. We've got a lot of safety crew here. USAC's here helping, putting everything out. And then later on today, we'll be giving away those Nitto trophies.
Alex Fleming
Sherpa
has a front right flat right there.
And where's he at? No, he's got to run the entire short course as well before he can make it to the Amsoil Hot Pits.
Yes, because he just now is exiting the Thunder Valley area.
And Thunder Valley, right there on the switchback, is where we'll be racing tonight at 6 o'clock. Be sure to tune in for that. That's going to be a wild ride. And we'll have all hands on deck. We'll have Joey and Matt up here, and we're going to be clowning around having some fun tonight with that one. Don't forget, we have UTV Takeover August 10th through the 14th. Do not miss that. And speaking about UTV Takeover, you can get a $6 temporary permit to ride a UTV on the streets here in Oklahoma. So if you're coming to UTV Takeover, take the time, get online, find that permit, and go check it out.
Yes, and if you're here and you're watching this and you want to get some information about how to do it, they have a pamphlet up at where you came in, the main gate.
At the main Power Sports store. There's Alex Fleming coming back into the screen. And then we will be doing the Nationals here for Legends of the Fall in October. We'll
That's
have
gonna
the
be
Ultra
fun.
4 Nationals, the National Rock Racing Association Finals, and the Mid-America Outdoor Side-by-Side Championship Series final event. So it's going to be a wild weekend there. That's another don't miss. And we'll be in Sturgis here in a few weeks, and then we'll be in Crandon over Labor Day weekend.
The big house.
Oh, I can't wait to do all of this. Does John Schaefer have a right front flat, too? So I was saying tires were going to be an issue, and I didn't see much, but now I've seen 3 in the last few cars that came through. Schaefer and Fleming both have flats, and we saw Contreras coming through on a flat.
I see in the distance.
Vaughn Gittin Jr. is coming in. He'll be crossing that finish line in under 1 minute, and he is still with a blistering pace. Is that Kendall Glines with a right rear flat as well?
And it is a Grand Prix finish, so as soon as he finishes, if somebody is a lap down,
once the checkered flies, it doesn't quit flying.
Exactly.
So Vaughn Gittin Jr. is about to cross the line. The Funhaver Off-Road team unofficially grabbing that checkered line, makes a pass at that finish line. Vaughn Gittin Jr. unofficially just won the 4600 Spider Track stock class.
Wow, that's awesome. And he even slowed his time down just a little bit more on that lap, but his fastest lap was a 9:50.058.
What a great run. He's got to be super stoked with his effort there. Vaughn Gittin Jr. was on the pole yesterday with a 1:13 and then started out front and never looked back, making multiple passes on some lap traffic. There's John Williams coming in the screen.
Oh, and I see in the distance another Bronco coming through.
Remember, he was one. Oh, I should have done my unofficial stopwatch. I forgot. It's going to be actually very close. It's going to be within 30 seconds. I don't know. Can Brad Level reel him in? I think Vaughn Gittin unofficially just won this, but Brad Level with a great effort. And look at that. Broncos 1 and 2. So Brad Level coming around. Like I said, he's in the class for the Off-Road Hall of Fame for 2022 and crossing physically in that second position. And on adjusted time, it looks like Vaughn Gittin Jr. did win.
Brad did pick up that lap time by 20 seconds, though, but definitely Vaughn Gittin Jr. unofficially right now, Brad Level in that second position. So we'll see if Mr. Bailey Cole, which he is in the distance getting ready to go by Mick Hinson.
Remember, this race was on adjusted time, 1 minute increments. So Bailey Cole could move into that second spot.
He is
launching.
And on screen, what we have.
That is Kendall Glines changing that right rear tire. But Bailey Cole coming in cross, grabbing that checkered flag, physically in that third position, but on an adjusted time.
Oh, he took it unofficially right now from Brad Level.
So Bailey Cole turned it up on that last line.
And he beat Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s lap time on the first lap. He is a 9:46.643, and Von Gittin was a 9:50.058.
So unofficial, it's Von Gittin Jr. 1, Bailey Cole 2, and Brad Level 3. So the Stampede Broncos unofficially 1, 2, 3. Ford Performance got to be extremely excited about that. And if it sticks like this, Von Gittin Jr. takes an extra $2,000 home from Ford Performance for the 4600 Spider Track stock class during the Ultra 4 race presented by Progressive Insurance. Sounds like we have Scott Rain up in the Amsoil hot pits. Let's check in with him.
3 cars have pulled in prior to this, and now we've got this one right here. This is the first lap. Miles, I heard you say earlier tires were going to be an issue. You didn't think you were right. You kind of corrected yourself. Well, guess what? You were right. Tires are an issue here this afternoon.
I believe the Amsoil hot pits are going to be extremely busy today as we're watching Alex Fleming changing that right front flat. And got that Pro Eagle jack up front, but it slipped off, so they're readjusting that to get that back up in the air. But what a great way to start out the day here at Mid-America Outdoors during Vision Week. We've been racing for 4 days straight, and we have been jam-packed every minute of every day. There's something going on somewhere as we see John Schaefer coming back into screen. Looks like he may have a right front flat, possibly.
It does look like he is.
Yeah, something's flopping up there for sure. So, man, I told you tires are going to be the issue, and they are starting to show.
Going to be a long finish for him because he's just now entering into Thunder Valley.
But speaking about tires, Von Gittin Jr., those Nittos, not a flat today.
Not a flat. And I did see Mr. Ryan Few. He was down there watching the race earlier.
He got out of bed early enough?
I saw him down there. He was watching it. He's still down there watching the finish of the race right there. We'll have to see if we can get him up here later on in the booth and chat with us because he has a lot of drivers out here this weekend.
And Scott's just letting me know that Kendall Glines did swap co-drivers. He swaps between his son Caden and Brexton, so they did that in the Amsoil hot pits as well. Sherpa's back out. And once you enter the Amsoil hot pits, you have to drive the entire length of it at 25 miles an hour. There's John Williams.
Entering into that switchback area in Thunder Valley. That switchback area, I'm so excited to see the mega trucks on there.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty wild.
And to have every single class that's going to be racing the switchback out there completely full. And on screen you see Von Gittin and Bailey Cole chit-chatting about their race, probably trying to figure out what was their favorite part, what line was the best.
If you are just tuning in, we just are wrapping up the 4600 Spider Track stock class. We still have a lot of cars still out on course, but unofficially it is Von Gittin Jr., Bailey Cole, and Brad Level with a Bronco sweep. And we are here for the second annual Visions hosted at Mid-America Outdoors, just outside of Jay in northeast Oklahoma. This park spans over 1,600 acres and is a premier riding and off-road park that is extremely family-friendly. Amazing amenities including Legend Steakhouse, Power Sports, and General Store. 95 cabins, bathhouses, over 375 RV sites with hookups, unlimited dry camping, laundry room, power wash stations, open-air bars, 2 brand-new tiki bars, coconuts, and 2 coconuts that's at the pool, food court, game areas, RC track, pools, splash pad, lazy river, live music, and much, much more. The population here in Jay is roughly 2,500 people. The elevation is about 1,000 feet, and Grand Lake is just down the road. Is in the foothills of the Ozark Mountain Range, and that lake covers over 46,000 acres. We were able, the Robinettes gave us a little break on Sunday afternoon and took us out on that lake, and it's a beautiful part. So if you come to Mid-America Outdoors, plan a little extra time. You can make this your home base and do a couple day adventures. I know you can go rafting, you can go floating. You can go fishing, you can go boating. There's so much to do at this South Crown Lake area. And then speaking about South Grand Lake, Disney, that riding area is just down the road as well. So get that $6 permit and bounce between Mid America Outdoors and South Grand Lake and have some fun.
I knew about Grand Lake. I've heard about Grand Lake, but I did not realize how large the lake was. But we were I'm not sure how far south we were, but I mean, it's like a 25-minute drive to get to where we went out on the boat. But if you drive about, 20 minutes north, there's another part of the lake. It is a huge lake out here.
It is a big, big lake, and it's pretty. It's awesome. It's great. There's a great aerial view. You can see at your top right, there's the pool right there. In the middle of the screen now is the Power Sports and Legend Steakhouse. And this place will be hopping. As we span right, coming in the screen right there is the RC track. They'll be racing there off and on all day long. That is brand new. When I showed up here a week ago, it was raw dirt. That building on the right was just steel poles going up. They have been working around the clock to make it happen, and it's awesome. At the bottom of your screen there is a practice track. We were walking by with my family, and they said, "Hey, you want to drive these things?" And so we went in there and raced with Jade and Ella a little bit. They had a lot of fun. So if you're in the area, if you're here on site, go check out the RC track and let your kids have a little fun racing those RC cars.
Yes, Joey Christensen had a huge crew of people out there helping him out, moving the dirt, getting the track all ready, building that metal structure, getting it painted, welding it, everything.
And we just saw the bounty course or the high lifter bounty course, and right there is the pit bike racing. They'll be racing. They have already started this morning, so they must be in a little intermission. But look how amazing that! I mean, it's a top-notch pit bike track, and they're throwing a lot of money at that as well. There's a lot of cash prizes you can win going on there. Scotty Champion that won his race last night is in charge of that. With that, you can see his Partzilla van there on the center of your screen.
And who else better to take care of the pit bike racing is Scotty Champion. I mean, he is a racer himself.
Yeah, he raced Supercross for quite a while. And then just to the left of that, if we pan over, is the Amsoil Hot Pits, and that's where Scott is. So right there's the Amsoil Hot Pits. You can see the Jumbotron. So that way everybody, and that's cool because a lot of times the pit crews kind of get stuck out in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Well, right now they are in the middle of nowhere, but they are following and they're able to watch the live show just like you all are at home. So go to ultra4racing.com/live, get on the MAO app, hit that share button, start a watch party. We'll be racing all day long. We'll be kicking off the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class and the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class here in about 20 minutes. And again, if you're just tuning in, we want to thank each and every one of you. This is 2022 Visions Week here at Mid-America Outdoors, and this is Ultra 4 Racing presented by Progressive Insurance.
So, Miles, we'll run through here really quick, but we have unofficially Vaughn Gittin Jr. in the number 2567 in that number 1 position, Bailey Cole in the number 13 in the 2 position, and then Brad Lovell in the 4621 in that 3rd position. They are the only 3 cars that made all 3 laps.
For now.
For now, yes.
So Albert Contreras, John Williams, John Schaefer, and Alex Fleming are still on their 2nd lap. So they've got 20 minutes to finish. So we should see a few more. There's Tom Biddle. I believe he is a lap down, so he should be getting the checkered flag. A lap down.
Did you, was it on that map you sent me, the top is cut off?
Tom Biddle coming through. Like I said, he will be a lap down, but he put down 2 solid laps in that old school Toyota.
Battery level is low. The aircraft will go to the home point in 10 seconds.
And don't forget, this is a double points race for Nationals and both East and West championships. So this is a big deal for Vaughn Gittin Jr. I know he's chasing points in that Ford Bronco. You can have one fill-in driver a year, and I think they're going to – we'll see how it all shakes out. I don't think they've used it yet. But so Vaughn or Lauren could drive that in one of these races if they need to. Vaughn raced with us in Rush, Kentucky.
And then in the 4400 class, we have Lauren Healy and Marcos Gomez, or no, Paul Wolf tied for the West Coast Championship right
and
now.
guess what? Lauren Healy starting 1 and Paul Wolf starting 2.
Yes.
So that just goes to show how consistent these two are, and they have a friendly rivalry, and it's really fun to watch it kind of grow. Because again, Paul Wolf is fairly new to our sport. He's not new to off-road.
Right.
He's just fairly new to Ultra 4, and man, he's coming in with
He
with
came
a
out like a
vengeance, yeah.
rocket ship for
Yep.
sure.
And he's got a pretty good advantage because he'll be racing next in his UTV, so he'll know that course like the back of his hand by the time he gets in his UFO trying to chase down Lauren Healy.
Yes, and he also did the knockout races here as well
And-
in the
and-
4400.
And his UTV.
And his
He's been
UTV.
extremely successful so far this week. Is that Henry Lucci, I believe?
Yes, the four-door Jeep, Henry
Yep.
Lucci.
And
on
Paul
screen.
Wolf qualified with a 50-second.
56 second.
Sorry, a 56-second run in his Can-Am and a 56-second in his 4400 UFO. I mean, how consistent is that?
And I thought the 56 second was going to be the fastest time of the day. And then Lauren Healy gets out there on his qualifying lap, and he just, by a second, he got a 55. So it's just kind of awesome to see how much they're pushing it. But if Paul and Lauren are out on course together, they're always neck and neck on their times and their laps.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild day of racing, so make sure you do not go anywhere. Make sure you keep the cooler stocked, get some snacks. We will be bringing you some of this amazing Ultra 4 racing here at Visions Week at Mid-America Outdoors. So make sure you tag Mid-America Outdoors Ultra 4 Racing, Ultra 4 USA.
I'm just thinking about the start of the 4400 race with Lauren and Paul on that drag. It's a drag race to that first hill.
So I think they will be side by side. This one they did single, but I think with the car count they're going to have to be. I'm waiting for confirmation from JT, but I assume that's when it's going to happen. There
That's
comes
what it was
Albert
supposed
Contreras.
to be. But yeah, like you're saying, you'll wait for confirmation to see if that's exactly
But
how
yeah,
it will
no,
be.
I think you're going to be right. I think it'll be side by. I think it's going to have to be because we've got
So
almost
many.
40 in the 4400, 58 in the UTV. It's going to be a wild ride as Albert Contreras looks like he may sneak into that 4th position. No, he may be a lap down. No, he did. No, he did.
right,
He even
so-
changed the tire and still got unofficial 4th
in that
spot.
4th position,
And it looks like
unofficially.
we're going to bring in the map and kind of give you a rundown on what the track looks like. And here comes Alex Fleming getting that unofficial. Oh, he just bumped Albert Contreras from 4th to 5th. So unofficial, it's Vaughn Gittin 1, Bailey Cole 2, Brad Level 3, Alex Fleming 4, and Albert Contreras in that 5th position. But here is the map right here. So at the start line, you go right. So you go counterclockwise. There, where it says 4600 is the only stock bypass we have. And then you drop back into the short course. When you take a right going up, that is the knockout hill. And then you take a left, go by the high lifter course. And then you take you turn quick right, back to left. There's the Amsoil Hot Pits. Back around to the Rigid Ridge, drop down the Bronco Falls, and then you hit that switchback rhythm section, go back into the woods. There's a few either ors back in there, and then you come back towards the end of Thunder Valley, and then take another right, go around some woods, hit that dry creek area. Head to the far back of the course. There's the Recaro Rise. Sneak back around. There's a Get Skinny. Those are two trees that are, I mean, you have to really, really check up to go through those parts. And then you wind through the trees and then come back and finish the switchback section. Hit that Yukon launch. Come back through, hit the short course, and hit that finish line. That is a 5-mile lap. I think Pam's going to sneak up and try to go get a quick chat with our unofficial winners, Vaughn Gittin, Bailey, and Brad Level. Again, we need to give our marketing partners a huge shout out. We need to give a thanks to Progressive for presenting the Ultra 4 race today. Four Wheel Parts, Optima Batteries, Monster Energy, Bronco, Ford, Can-Am, King of the Hammers, King Shocks, Nitto, VP Racing Fuels, Griffin Race Radiators, LaserNut, Holly EFI, Baja Jerky, Spider Tracks, Recaro Seats, Amsoil, PCI Race Radios, Method Race Wheels, Axial RC Cars, Off the Grid Clothing, Warren, Factor 55, HCR, ARB, Rigid, MBRP, Yukon Gear and Axle, Brannick Motorsports, Tread Lightly, and Action Sports Canopy are the official marketing partners for Ultra 4 Racing. And some of our Mid-America sponsors are Ultimax Belts, 360 Wraps, the Off-Road Syndicate, and Mid-America Outdoors. So please support who supports the sport. Without all these amazing partners, we would not be racing here at Mid-America today. And I do have a visual, the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class, and oh, here we are on screen. And the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class is about ready to take off, hopefully here in about 10 minutes. And look at it. It is going to be side by side. With this many cars, I'm going to guess a 30-second increment split, but we'll find out as soon as they take off. So we will have 31 cars in this next race with Toby Stacy on the pole. Right by him is Woody Rose. Then it's Jeremy Jones and Ryan Taylor lined up. Then Sean Reisky and Trevor Foltz. Then Tony Howard and Brent Harrell. Then Dwayne Garrettson and Brian Trimp. Then Steve Graff, Ryan Webb. Then Garrett Martin and Troy Digby. Then Ken Goodall and Jesse Lee. Caleb Boschi and Chuck Crossland. Justin Barth and Rick Lavezzo. Eric Weichel and Evan Sherman, Andrew Gorman and Sean Rance, Colin Hornick and Justin Hall, Jesse Oliver and George Schooley, Joe Medina and Brian Moore, and then coming from the back of the pack will be Cody St. Clair and Tyler Haggard. So we just saw 12 cars out on course, and now we have 31 cars will be taking the line. So it is going to be extremely interesting to see how this shakes out. We did one every 1 minute, and we're turning, just shy of a 10-minute lap. So it's going to be it'll be two at a time. I'll bet you every 15 seconds. So the dust is going to be thick. Traffic is going to be a huge deal out here. This is going to be a fun race. It's going to be a fast race. It's going to be an interesting race. I know the dust is going to be extremely hanging. The wind is just barely blowing. The weather is absolutely beautiful. It's been over 100 degrees the last few days, and it's only 79 degrees right now. It is going to get up to 99 this afternoon, but hey, that's just part of it. So if you are in this earlier race, you're kind of got that advantage on your side, because I think the heat's going to play the person take its toll on the person and the car. We have Chad Hunt coming up here to check some things out. He'll be racing later on today in the 4400 class. We're going to hopefully have a quick chat with our winners from the 4600 Spider Track stock class here pretty soon. I think we have Pam or Tiffany. I wasn't quite sure who was going to run over there. So I've got in the booth with me Mr. Chad Hunt. He'll be racing the 4400 class in your Miller car later on the day. And so yesterday we were chatting a little bit, and I was thinking a 14-minute lap. I was way off. We're already sub 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick race. The dust is definitely going to play a factor. This morning's pretty cool, though, so those stock guys had a nice, easy taking it off early, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's just part of the game. Yeah, I was just talking about that. It's only 80 degrees right now. The wind's not really picked up much, but it's got a slight breeze. But we just saw 12 cars out on course, and the dust was thick. So now we're going to be doing 31. You guys have just shy of 40, but the UTVs, 58 cars at once. It's going to be carnage everywhere.
It's going to definitely be some carnage for sure. Yeah, the dust is terrible. We talked to the pit guys this morning, and they were like, it's a big, fast, open straightaway, and they're like, we're just getting poured with dust back there.
Yeah, and they're on the outside of the corner. But it is cool they are able to see the cars at speed. I mean, I think your car, you can get up over 100 miles an hour as you blow by the Amsoil hot pits there.
Yeah, as long as I can see, that's not a problem.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be one of the biggest factors is visibility. And you talk about clean air with Lauren Healy and Paul Wolf out front. That's not going to last that long. So they've got only the first lap to take advantage of that, and then they're going to be in lap traffic.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Or dust, you know.
Yeah, their second lap, they're definitely coming into dust. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, because with that many cars, you're going to have a lot of lap traffic. We're going to be in the dust in the middle of the pack, so missing corners. It's going to be an interesting race.
So side by side, two at a time. So 40 cars at 1 minute, 20 minutes, can't do that.
Right.
30 seconds, that's right at 10 minutes, can't do that. So it's going to be probably a 15-second split for you guys, and for the UTVs, it may be just 5 or 10 seconds. It's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. So the dust is definitely going to play its toll. And in the woods, once the sun does come out, it is overcast today, which is nice. That's really helped a lot of things. Because yesterday with the sun and the dust, watching you guys pre-run, it looked the sun comes through the trees, gets bright, and then the dust hits, and it just, to me, it looked really tricky.
If you're from anywhere where it snows, it's snow blind.
Oh,
right?
there you go. Yep. Okay.
can't
100%
see
understand that. Yeah. And the trees are tight back there. There's a lot of open spots, but there's quite a few pinch spots back there.
There's definitely some switchbacks and some pitch points that are going to be, like I said, very interesting and technical, and we're looking forward to it.
Yep. Yeah. We took a couple hot laps around the lazy river this week. I mean, it's been a great week. What's been your highlight so far outside of your racing?
Truthfully, just spending time with the family in the pool atmosphere, family atmosphere. It's been awesome. It's not just about the race cars. It's family oriented also. So.
100%. Yeah. So we've been in this sport for a very long time, and this is the first time I've ever brought my entire family. Bailey, Jade, and Ella all came to this race. Bailey's came to a couple other races, just to check out. But I was like, obviously I'm busy all day. But they got a lot to do. I mean, they got the pool, the river. There's the steakhouse. I mean, they got everything
going on. Motorcycle stunt shows. It's just
the Barbie Jeep yesterday. The kids loved that, and the motorcycle stunt shows. They've been doing that a few nights this week. It's been there's something for everybody out here.
Right. You can watch stuff, do stuff with family, and it's not just let's work on the race car all weekend or let's strategize. And
it's been a good change of pace.
It has. It left us a little ragged this morning trying to figure out, all right, we didn't talk about this yesterday because we were
hanging out.
Right, so let's get this strategy done and go in and see where we can go.
What is your strategy?
Truthfully, just to finish.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a game of attrition. If you can keep the car together, is going to be one thing, and obviously you have to push to be competitive. But I think if you push too hard, that you're gonna take yourself out.
Yeah, and there's a lot of high horsepower cars here this weekend, and so
including yourself.
With this high heat, it's going to be keeping the car cool, watching temperatures.
And keeping yourself hydrated is a big deal.
Yeah. We definitely took care of that. We got some IV last night. They were here.
I didn't know
IV
that.
Therapies.
Okay.
So my team definitely hooked up with that. And bigger boy myself, so I wanted to make sure I stayed hydrated for the race and wasn't slacking any.
Yeah, no, that's a wonderful thing for sure. Yeah, because it's you definitely need to take care of yourself first off, and then take care of the car second.
Absolutely.
So I'm thinking, I don't have confirmation yet, but I believe that we are soon to be taking off.
Yeah, we should be starting soon. They're all lined up over there, and I hear engines revving. They're ready.
And again, they will be starting side by side, and I'm going to guess 15 to 20 second increments. We'll get that a little more ironed out as they go. But it's going to be a quick race, and by the time we get all of the cars out, we'll be seeing the next car come through. So it's going to be a busy start with Toby Stacy on the pole, and then Woody Rose right next to him. So 2 Trent Fab cars, actually 4 Trent Fab, cars. That's pretty impressive.
Yep.
And there we are, Toby Stacy and Woody Rose drag racing up, and Woody Rose has the slight advantage. No, and then on the inside, it's going to be Toby Stacy,
yep,
I believe.
turn too early.
So Woody Rose does get around Toby Stacy. So the dust is going to be playing its toll.
Here we go, over the jump.
So off the line right now is Mr. Jeremy Jones and Ryan Taylor drag racing. And Ryan Taylor, part of Team Indiana, gets the early jump as Woody Rose is starting to pull away from Toby Stacy. Up next should be Sean Reisky and Trevor Foltz. Lots of action everywhere you look as Sean Reisky and Trevor Foltz. Trevor Foltz gets a whole shot over Sean Reisky. Up next will be Tony Howard and Brent Harrell. This side-by-side drag race is pretty amazing. Are you excited for your start, Chad?
I am ready for my start, fully.
So up next will be Tony Howard and Brent Harrell, and it looks like we are doing a 30-second split. So they are side-by-side, 30-second increments.
Oh, he got a heck of a jump off that guy.
Yeah, Brent Harrell, that car's a runner. That is absolute fact. So Brent Harrell gets to jump over Tony Howard. This race is on adjusted time, but look, Tony Howard's diving in on the inside and touching.
Oh.
Brent Harrell getting a little, hey, Rubbins racing there.
Yeah.
That's some good, clean fun. And then he's on the inside once again. This is a great race, and Brent Harrell's out in the slick stuff.
Yep.
So Tony Howard gets around him. Up next is Dwayne Garrettson, our pole setter for the 4500 Yukon gear and axle modified class, racing Brian Trimp. So Brian Trimp in the 4800 car gets the little lead over Dwayne Garrettson. But remember, this is 2 separate races. We have the 4500 Yukon gear and axle modified class and the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. Up next will be Mr. Steve Graff and Ryan Webb. Taking off, John Dykes is riding with Graff. Lane is riding with Ryan Webb. And it does look like Ryan Webb gets the jump off of Steve Graff. Thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in during Visions Week. We are here at Mid-America Outdoors racing with Ultra 4, presented by Progressive Insurance.
There they are, off into the woods.
They'll be blowing by the Amsoil hot pits. So up next, taking off, is Troy Digby and Garrett Martin. Lots of action all over this race course. There is so much going on. It is hard to tell who's who and what's what, but we will do our best, and this is going to be a blast. What are you thinking right now, Chad? Are you excited? Are you nervous?
I'm super excited. I've been doing it enough now. I don't get too nervous anymore unless it's a really king of the hammers. But
yeah, I
serious
feel you there.
races are so much fun, and just you got to sit back and think of it as a trail ride and just go out and have a good time.
I like your style. Off next is Ken Goodall and Jesse Lee. Oh, they kind of cut that corner a little bit. I don't think it was intentional, but they both did it. You know, hey, 25 feet's 25 feet.
Yes, it is.
And look at the dust. Look how, I mean, this is going to be a dust bowl. It's going to be hard to keep this under control, but we'll do our best, and that's part of racing.
Yep.
Taking off by themselves is Caleb Bocci, I believe. Where is Chuck Crossland. I didn't see him leave the line. Not sure what happened, maybe having some mechanical issues. Hopefully he can make it to the start line and get a rear start. Remember, this race is on adjusted time. They were taking off in 30-second increments, but side by side. That's a little out of the ordinary for Ultra 4 outside of short course, but this is pretty sweet.
Yeah, until we get to Crandon and we do that Grand Prix start.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Off the line now is Justin Barth with Anthony out riding shotgun. Rick Levezzo and Chad Levezzo taking off. And Rick Levezzo gets the early lead on Justin Barth. What a wonderful start we've had for this race so far, and we still got about 10 more to go to ship off the line. We just wrapped up the 4600 Spiner Track stock class, and Vaughn Gittin Jr., I believe, won that race. Eric Weichel and Evan Sherman, No Fear Racing, and E Squared Motorsports taking off. Eric Weichel with the early jump over Evan Sherman. This is going to be a 5-lap race. I'm not sure if I've said that. So 25 miles. So, I mean, 5 times, what is it, 10? So it's going to be about an hour race. We got an hour and a half slotted for it, but I think it's going to be a quick race, unless that dust plays a huge issue.
Right. We'll see how it does in the woods here.
There's Tony Howard hitting the switchback rhythm section in that Liberty Mountain Fab chassis.
Be able to tell off the car number 4 and 5 how bad the dust is playing in through the woods and what their time slots are coming in.
Andrew Gorman and Sean Rance off the line. There is Ford Performance contingency money out here today, so if you're running a Ford Clip or Ford Performance, you can get an extra $1,000 a piece, so up to $2,000. So I think Vaughn Gittin did take that $2,000 contingency money. And on screen right now is Colin Hornick and Justin Hall. Oh my God, Justin Hall gets the whole shot over Hornick.
Here we go, 2 more getting ready to take off from the line.
That is Jesse Oliver and Cody St. Clair. So where is George Schooley, Triple J, and Brian Moore? I don't see them. And Chuck Crossland. So we are missing 4 cars that did not make the start. Is that Woody Rose? I believe so. At the Recaro Rise, Woody Rose is out front with that. Well, he's got clean air, but nobody else does.
Right.
Chad, this has been a great deal. Thank you for hopping in the booth with me. You're more than welcome to stay, but you are more than welcome to leave whenever you want.
I appreciate it. I'm going to go back and just finish prepping the car and get ready for the race. And you guys have a good race, and it's always good to talk to you.
And likewise, Chad. Tell everybody at Team Indiana, be safe, have fun, and drive fast. And look at the dust that is hanging a little bit of everywhere. That is coming up the Ultra 4 side of the short course. And hopefully we stay on this drone shot, because the 4600 stock class bypassed. But right here in just a second, they'll be taking left right now and heading down a little V-notch. And it's a pretty steep little section. There's Troy Digby heading on the switchback rhythm section. What a great start of this race. We have everybody off the line that made it to the line. So we have, I believe, 27 competitors out on course right now. This is a 5-lap race, 5 miles per lap, so a 25-mile lap in total. We'll see what kind of lap time Woody Rose can throw down. I suspect to see him here in the next minute or two. Vaughn Gittin Jr., I believe, no, it was Bailey Cole with a 9:48, if my memory is correct. What a great start of the grand finale day of Visions here at Mid-America Outdoors. This is Ultra 4 Racing at its finest, presented by Progressive Insurance. They're heading up the America Pro Rock knockout section where they raced yesterday afternoon, put on a show for the fans. Paul Wolf did another great job, and Justin Willis won the bouncer class. There's been so much racing going on. We've had the Barbie downhill Jeep. We've had a rodeo. We've had RC racing. We've had Mid-America Outdoor Championship Series race. We've got pit bike racing. There's just too much to keep up with, but I wouldn't change it for a thing as they're heading around the high lifter course and then taking a hard left right there. That is Colin Hornack. And look how dusty. He had to check up to see where he's at, but he can see the woods on his left. And here comes Woody Rose, our physical race leader. Up and over the G-force jump. So he will get a lap time for him very soon. But Woody Rose with that Trent Fab car, you know Derek and Lisa Trent got to be extremely excited right now. So a 9:38, a new fast time of the day by Woody Rose. And he's got that clean air for a little bit. The dust is definitely hanging, but he's got some more time before he's going to start running in some lap traffic. But I see Toby Stacy behind him. Remember, they took off side by side. So Woody Rose already has about a minute lead over Toby Stacy. With that 9:38 fastest lap of the day on this 5. And Toby Stacy launches. I think he saved it, but he overjumped this jump. And I think he may have hurt something. Yes, he did. Not sure what happened, but he took a huge nose over this jump and overjumped it completely. And I saw him kind of panic rev, landed on the front tires really hard. So I don't know if he broke a drivetrain or something, but he panic revved. Glad to see he didn't roll it because that was really close. We have Gus Fisher out there checking him out. The medics are there on standby. But I do believe Toby is okay, but he definitely overjumped that. So we'll have to keep that in mind for later on today that you can absolutely overjump this hill. There comes Ryan Taylor. He'll move in that physical second position. He took off 1 minute behind Woody Rose and Toby Stacy. I hate to see that for Toby Stacy. I'm not sure if Corey Day is riding with Ryan Taylor or not, but he ran a 10:41, so 1 minute slower than Woody Rose. So Woody Rose is already starting to walk away with a 1 minute lead. But remember, to finish first you must finish. As we're watching Ryan Taylor with Team Indiana. You see a little puff of smoke coming out of Toby Stacy's car, but they're there. I don't see him looking too concerned. But boy, I really, really hate to see that. Jeremy Jones coming through. So it'll push him into physical third. He took off in that second line, so Ryan Taylor has him by just a little bit. You have there, everywhere you look, there's something going on. And that course area. So Foltz had a little bit of engine issues in AOP a little bit ago, and right now it sounds like it may be missing just a tick. Here comes Tony Howard through. And Brent Harrell all over the throttles. He headed out for lap number 2. And the drone is flying. This is where they enter back into the short course. And the dust is extremely thick out here. Remember, you can go to live.ultra4racing.com and check out the live timing. Brian Trimp coming through as well. Ryan Taylor's at the bottom of the high lifter park. Love that repeater banner he's blowing by. Wayne Garrettson, I believe, is in the lead for the 4,500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. Remember, we have two separate classes racing at the same time. They are absolutely scored separately, but all on the track at the same time. That sounds like we have Pam up having a chat with Vaughn Gitt. There goes Trevor Foltz up the knockout hill. Oh, so it looks like Pam Hall's ready now. Sorry about that, having a little bit of technical difficulties, but look at this. We're doing this internet here, and the dust is so thick, I think we're having a little bit of issues with that. So I do apologize as we're watching Ryan Taylor hitting that switchback rhythm section, and that Trip Fab car is moving. And I'm looking over my shoulder, and Toby Stacy is still not moving. I hate to see that. He was pushing extremely hard trying to taste down one of his teammates, Woody Rose. So Woody Rose still looking strong out on course. He should be out there by the Recaro Rise section. Just to our left on this camera is the Yukon launch. Haven't had much action from that. Hopefully we can see it. And there is... somebody just changed a tire, I do believe. All hands on deck. That is the Amsoil Hot Pits. Another car coming in. That is Sean Reisky, I believe. I missed the first car. I apologize, but that is Sean Reisky in the Amsoil Hot Pits. He kind of bumped that tire. Not sure if he's having brake issues possibly. I don't see them, running around looking at tires, so I wonder if he's got a brake line that ripped loose. And that's just my guess. There's Brian Trimp just putting up the dust up there by the High Lifter Park. I see Rick Levezzo coming through. If you are just tuning in, we thoroughly appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in to ultra4racing.com/live. Get on that MAO app as we're watching Steve Graff during the Ultra 4 race presented by Progressive Insurance. Steve Graff and John Dykus blowing by the High Lifter Mud Park. And there is Brian Tripp, I believe, coming into screen. Taking a little bit of hits on my internet here, so I do apologize, not quite keeping up. But if you're home, go to live.ultra4racing.com for our live timing as Brian Tripp heads across the switchback rhythm section. And right in the center of your screen right now is the Yukon launch. So hopefully we can get a good shot of that coming up. We do have a car coming in. There's Evan Sherman coming into screen right there. We've got drones all over this racetrack. I believe we have 5 cameras, 3 drones flying all over. So again, a huge shout out to everybody that's making this possible. Take It Live, Rock Racing TV, and Live Race Media for they are all of our production crews to bring you visions here at Mid-America Outdoors. Make sure you get on that MAO app. Go to ultra4racing.com/live. Get on the Ultra 4 and MAO Facebook and YouTubes. Hit that share button. Start a watch party. Hashtag it up. Let's blow today out of the water. Let's have some fun. I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun as we see Rick and Chad Levezzo heading up the knockout race hill. Those Yokohama tires and King shocks throwing down the track, and they just kicked something up, about smoked the drone, but they kept on flying. That was pretty close. So I'm just getting confirmation from Chuck Crosland. I hate to hear this, buddy, but they found material in the engine oil and didn't want to risk any further issues on his car. So I hate to hear that, Chuck, but hey, better safe than sorry. So much action all over this race course. The dirt is getting thick, and is that our physical race leader? Yes, it is, I believe. That is Woody Rose coming back into the short course. Looking like my internet popped back up, so I'll give you kind of a quick rundown of what's going on. So last time around it was Woody Rose, Ryan Taylor, Trevor Foltz, Tony Howard, Jeremy Jones, Sean Reisky, Rick Levezzo, Brent Harrell, Brian Trimp, Steve Graff, Andrew Gorman, Dwayne Garrettson. So Rick Levezzo is in the lead for the 4,500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. I apologize about that earlier. Then it was Garrett Martin, Ryan Webb, Troy Digby, Caleb Boschi, Evan Sherman, Eric Weichel, Jesse Oliver, Justin Hall, Cody St. Clair, Justin Barth, and Ken Goodall out on the lead lap. But Woody Rose just came through, finishing lap 2, heading out on lap number 3. What a great, great race we have on our hands as we're watching our physical race leader. And then we switch back to Eric Weichel. Helena, Montana, heading up the America Pro Rock Knockout Hill. It's a fun little area. As he's heading down that little V-notch section. I'm glad we got a great shot of that. So that's coming back down some of the rock bouncing course. It's a little V-notch with a couple pretty good ledges on it. They used it earlier this week with SRRS. And look at that pond. This is such a beautiful piece of property in northeast Oklahoma, just outside of Jay here at Mid-America Outdoors. Over 1,600 acres. This is a premier off-road park. And we get to do a little bit of racing here while we enjoy all the other festivities. Woody Rose dealing with some lap traffic. You can see the sportsmanship. I believe that is Justin. I can't tell who's Woody just passed. Turn around, maybe. Yes, that was Justin Hall. I was correct. And there comes Evan Sherman. So Woody Rose out front, then it's Ryan Taylor, then Jeremy Jones, then Trevor Foltz. Top 4 in the 4,800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. And speaking about Brannick Motorsports, I was hanging out with Brandon Haynes in the Lazy River yesterday for just a little bit while I had a quick little break. Chatting with him. Stan Haynes is his dad, and they run Brannick Motorsports themselves, so it's great to see them out here enjoying the festivities. It is going to be a long, long day. The dust is thick, and we're gonna fight through. We're gonna battle just like these racers. But Jason, thanks for tuning in. We'll see what happens. If it starts falling apart or the voice starts falling apart, I'll keep rolling with it. We've only got 8 more hours to go. We got this, right? And the horsepower is everywhere. And Brent Harrell is showing out right now. He is all over the throttles. We're back onto Ryan Taylor. These cars are, there isn't a whole lot of mud out there, but these cars are, it's mainly just the short course where they watered it down, but they're starting to change colors on me just a little bit as we're chasing Ryan Taylor up the America Pro Rock Knockout Hill. And look how dusty that is. There's a fence right there, and you know they got to remember where that's at. And they're at the bottom of the High Lifter Park, and Brian Tripp's coming in. That is Sean Reisky. We saw him in the AMSOIL hot pits just a moment ago. It looks like we have Pam Hall hopping back in the booth with me. Thanks for joining back in. I know you were up there chatting with Vaughn Gittin Jr., Bailey Cole, and Brad Level.
Yes, it was nice to get to chat with them after the race course. The only thing they said up there was the course was dusty. So they were talking about later on in the 4400 class, like their strategy, how is it going to happen later on, because it is going to be blinding out there with the way the dust is just settling between the trees and everywhere else. But a good chat with them. But Bailey Cole, I mean, everybody, we haven't seen him in quite a while, but he will be up at Sturgis as well.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
didn't know that.
I mean, they drove here, I can't remember how many hours it took them, like 36 hours or something to get here straight the other day. They have to actually turn around and leave right now. They're loading to leave because they have prior obligations that they have to meet back in Washington.
I mean, a lot of our racers, fight and overcome everything, and that just goes to show that they wanted it so bad they came here. Now they want to get home, and it's just they do whatever it takes to make it happen. That's Tony Howard on screen at the bottom of the High Lifter Park. And somebody just came through spitting and sputtering.
I heard that. And Miles, I'm going to have to get myself caught up here. I did, while I was sitting down there, obviously the race started, and then Woody Rose, I saw him come through for his first lap, and it was a 9:38.225.
And he's came through on his second lap as well. So
Wow.
we're over halfway through. This is a 5-lap race, 5 miles per lap. That's Ryan Webb that's spitting and sputtering. Tough break for him. So it's a 25-mile race in total. And look at that dust everywhere as we're at the Recaro Rise section as we speak.
Yeah, the dust is definitely the factor
And there's
for
some
sure.
headlights coming. There's Eric Weichel.
And we had a total of 22 cars take that green flag today? Or no?
I counted 27, but I could
Oh,
be
27.
wrong.
I'm sorry. I was looking at the other area. There were 22 Legends cars.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, there was 27 cars that took the line. Chuck Crossland did not make it. He had some shiny stuff inside the engine. You want that on the outside. So
He has had a very unfortunate
tough
trip.
luck for him.
The
Yeah.
motorhome issues and then now his car. So miles on is they're running their very first lap is a pretty fast lap. And then after that, they are slowing down just a tick. Been running, that same thing happened in the 4600 stock class as well. They're slowing down just a little bit, about around a 10 and a half minute lap. So we'll see if that stays true the rest of the day, which more than likely will, like we keep chatting about the dust and the lap traffic issues.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting day, and the course is going to deteriorate. I mean, that's
It
just
will.
there's
It's
nothing.
just a part of
yeah,
it.
there's nothing we can do about it.
That's
Especially on
racing.
the woods, it's getting blown out. The ruts are getting deeper. The rocks are moving. It's going to be tough for these guys and gals out there, but it's they'll fight through it and overcome. When you were chatting up there with everybody, did you mention did you congratulate Brad Level on being inducted to the
I did not.
2022
That-
Off-Road Hall of Fame class?
That would be my bad. I
it's
did
really
not
cool.
do that.
And-
But you know what? We were talking about every race he's entered in that Bronco. He's won. He
Not
hasn't.
today. Yep, not today.
No, he didn't win King of the Hammers.
Oh, you are right. I was
So
wrong
I was
there.
like, I was
Nope,
following your lead on that, and I was like, well, because you and I work together with all this stuff. But yeah, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. It was kind of like a jokingly comment,
He's
I
been
guess.
on the podium every time. How
He's
about
been on
that?
the podium. There we go.
But one of our own, Ryan Thomas, his dad is in that class
yes.
as well. So
yes.
really cool to see the Off-Road Hall of Fame recognizing who deserves it.
That is something I've never gone to, is to the Off-Road Hall of Fame that they do every year during SEMA. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I haven't made it there myself either, but I hope to.
I know Tiffany
to go
Stone.
spectate every
Tiffany
now and
Stone,
again.
she goes. I'm not sure. I believe she helps out with commentating, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
There's Andrew Gorman finishing another lap.
I haven't got to see him yet. I usually get to, say hi at least.
I usually get to say hi to a lot of people, and I've been pretty busy this
It's
week.
been a different
Obviously, I've got
atmosphere this
my wife Bailey and my daughters Jade and Ella are here, so instead of having the later nights, I'm kind of hanging out with them a little bit more. But it's really great having the family here. But there's just so much going on with all the live music, so many people here. It's just hard to fit it all in.
I was over at the concert the other night, and I was like, when Buck Cherry was playing, and I really wanted to stay and listen to it, but like you're saying, Miles, there's been so much going on. I actually, right as the music started, I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I just needed that extra little bit of sleep.
Absolutely, yeah. This morning our call time was 6:15 to make it up here, and so obviously got to get up 5:30 to, I had to do my hair and makeup.
I was gonna say you had to do your makeup. I got up at 5. Well, I hit snooze a couple times.
There's Ryan Webb. So he was spitting and sputtering really bad, but right now he's moving once again. So I don't know if it's a plug wire or a sensor that was loose or whatever. I'm not sure if they pulled over. Oh, speaking of pulling over, there's Jesse Lee, I believe.
The 49, it's 19, last two numbers.
Yeah, 48-19, that is Jesse Lee. And
Well,
at the Recaro Risers, Colin Hornock.
The 105 of Toby Stacy I saw was down right here.
Yeah, so he was chasing down Woody Rose, and you missed it, Pam. He overjumped this jump and was nosing down hard. He panic revved to pull out. He saved it, but I think he like I said, he over revved it hard trying not to roll it, and he hurt something.
Oh, gotcha.
And Jesse Lee, either him or his co-driver, this is a no chase race. Only fellow competitors can help you, or you can run back to the Amsoil hot pits. And not sure what he's doing, because the Amsoil hot pits is the other way.
And that looks like Mr. Gus is going over towards him.
Yep, safety and recovery, Mr. Gus Fisher. He is the man behind the scenes here at Mid-America Outdoors and at all the Ultra 4 races. If you've been to any race this season, he's the go-to guy for every time we're out on the road. He is the man. So, Jesse Lee, they're running it. Oh, he spit his serpentine belt, I believe. So yeah, I think he spit a serpentine belt. So now he's going to try to put it back on. So he was just waiting for a clear
track,
course.
yes.
Oh, and we missed it, Pam. Woody Rose.
Wow, he just came through
out
again.
On lap number 4.
And that lap time was an 11:18.553, so that's almost a whole minute slower than his last lap. But Ryan Taylor, he threw down a 10:10 last lap, so let's see what he brings in.
So I believe next time around, Woody Rose will be getting the white flag. And this, again, is a Grand Prix finish. So once the checkered flag starts flying, it doesn't stop.
And there is Woody Rose right there on screen.
Yeah, he did a drag race with Toby Stacy and got the whole shot and never looked back. He's definitely dealing with some lap traffic, but Woody Rose is starting to run away from this race.
I saw the drag race at the start, because obviously I was down there right by where it was at, and it was pretty cool. Who did you have up here in the booth? I could see you.
That was Chad Hunt.
Oh, awesome.
Yep,
okay,
he
cool.
came by for a quick little chat. Ryan Taylor just came through with Jeremy Jones behind him. So on adjusted time, it's Woody Rose, Ryan Taylor, and Jeremy Jones. So again, Trent Fab cars 1, 2, and 3. That would be a huge feat for the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. Derek and Lisa Trent, they are here on site.
We had Miss Christina in here chatting with us just now. She's taking care of us. She is who racers contact. She does a lot of stuff around here. She takes care of social media stuff. She takes care of all of us, all of the racers.
She does a little bit of everything for everybody. She's awesome.
She was out here parking vendors. She was parking racers. Like, it's just, when we say all hands on deck for us, you know, we all try to keep with what we're supposed to be doing, but we also, everybody helps everybody out. That's one really good thing. I mean, just like it's always been with Ultra 4 racing, it's been one big family. It's one big family here at Mid-America as well. And on screen there, that is Justin Barth. He is headed up the knockout hill right now. But we still have Woody Rose in that number 1 position, Ryan Taylor in number 2, Jeremy Jones 3rd, Tony Howard in 4th, and Trevor Foltz in 5th. Those are the ones that are out right now. They will be getting the white flag the next time they come around. And on screen right there, there is Ryan Taylor in the knockout hill. And if you were watching live yesterday, you would have seen the knockout going on. That is some awesome driving that they do. We had Paul Wolf in it, Cash LaCroix, Wade Good. There's lots of big names that were in the knockouts yesterday. And right there, that is the ridge that they're going through. They're going to be making a left right here, and they'll be turning into the Amsoil hot pits. And that right there is the High Lifter Extreme course that they were just flying over. So it looks like the person that has the fastest lap time right now in the race is Woody Rose with that 9:38.225. We'll see if that can stick, but that is the fastest time so far today. But we do know that dust is going to be a factor. Tires are going to be a factor as well. And that is Dwayne Garrettson right there on screen. That beautiful American flag. We did the flag ceremony earlier on this week where they raised the flag up. That was a new feature they put here at the park. And from where we're sitting, it is definitely a large flag, but it definitely does not do it justice until you get right up to it on how large it actually is. But it is a statement piece here, flying the beautiful red, white, and blue American flag. And that there on screen, I believe, is Dwayne Garrettson again.
And there's Foltz on screen right now.
Foltz, thank you.
Oh, sorry. Just hopped back in. Had to take a quick little break. Been a busy morning so far, but man, it's been a great morning.
No breaks for you, Miles.
Every once in a while, I gotta sneak away for just a couple minutes.
It's definitely something that we both will be doing all day long. We have to always take a quick minute for ourselves. Christina, she just came in just checking on us to see if we needed food. We're like, yes, please. Or I did. You're eating granola bars.
Yeah, I'll fight through. We're all good here. And I'll give you kind of just a quick rundown on how everything is working today. At 7 a.m. we started the 4600 stock class. Right now we're in the EMC. At 10:30 a.m. we start the 4900 UTV race. And then at 1 o'clock, the 4400 unlimited class.
When we get into the UTV race, I never gave my time. Yeah, I'm not sure who that is, but he's definitely having trouble. It looked like they had a little bit of blue smoke coming out of his car too as well. That's the car that I thought was...
Foltz? I think that's Foltz having some
that's the one I
issues.
thought was Dwayne.
And earlier I heard him kind of spitting and sputtering a little bit. He had some engine issues in Tennessee as well, so not sure what's going on, but yeah, he's definitely struggling just a little bit, so hate seeing that on for anybody.
Have we gone over, is Scott still over in the hot pits getting dusted out?
So literally, he just texted me, said, dude, it is so bad up here, he can't even see the Jumbotron.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, earlier he was saying that it was so bad over there that he couldn't even see the flags. So there's a race up the hill. It looks like they're doing their own little knockout
They're doing their
going
own
on.
knockout. That's Sean Rant. And Sean Reisky. So the battle of the Seans up the knockout hill. Looks like, and there's Tony Howard hitting the switchback spot, getting ready to hit the Yukon launch. Caleb, there's the Yukon launch right there. So if we could show that a few times, we haven't showed it hardly at all. And Troy Digby hitting the Yukon launch. And look at all the equipment out there all over this course. Just shows you how much it really takes to put this on. Sounds like talking about the Amsoil hot pit. Scott's up there, so take it away, buddy.
Engine issues. Second time he's been in the pits here in the last 2 laps. They're ducking underneath the hood. Major issues. In fact, let me jump up. What's the problem? Second time in 2 pits.
Air filter's clogged. It's so dusty out there. The air filter clogged up on us.
Oh.
You came in for a flat tire, I believe, last lap. No? So it's all dust.
It's all dust out there. It's super brutal in the woods. You can't see anything. It's like 10 feet in front of the car, and that's it.
You heard me say it's 2 feet in front of the car is all I can see. Dust. It's a major issue this afternoon.
Well, thank you, Scott, for that. And yeah, we knew that was going to be an issue, and I never thought of the air filter completely getting clogged up, but that was the issue he was fighting. So Foltz is going to, he's been in the Amsoil hot pits. He'll come back out and battle through as we're watching the Bronco heading down the Bronco Falls with Sean Rance.
Well, the thing about the dust, too, that's a good thing to make sure that they had the GPS file. So a lot of racers, when we were at Tennessee, they were talking about it's not over 10 miles, so why would we run a GPS? And it's like more like a short course. But when there's dust out here, that's, something you want to make sure you at least have the GPS file to make sure you're still on course, because it does track you, to the people that don't know how the GPS works at home watching. But, yeah, it'll track them and let them know if they get off of race course or not.
Coming back into the short course right here at the bottom of your screen. I believe that could be Andrew Gorman. There's Evan Sherman blasting through. And this is the jump right there that Toby Stacy over-jumped and, like I said, over-revved over something and had some issues.
Well,
Hate to see that.
I have to tell you, Miles, being at race speed in the UTV, when I raced last night, it was a little sketchy because when you take that jump too hard, you can overshoot it like he did and nose down, but you can also flatland it, which is not as fun either. But when you take off right there, it's so steep on the other side, it's just this like weird feeling like you're like when you're going on the
kind of floating, yeah,
floating.
Like a roller coaster.
Yeah,
almost.
It was a strange feeling last night for sure.
There, Sherman hitting the Yukon launch. There's Eric Weichel coming in the screen. You just saw Andrew Gorman and Chance Holloman just a second ago. There are cars all over this course. And I suspect to see Woody Rose here very soon grabbing that white flag.
I almost feel like the short course race because there's action
lap are we on?
all the time. They'll be getting the white flag next time around.
Perfect. Thank you, Pam. You can go to live.ultra4racing.com for our live timing. You can go get that MAO app. We've got that on Google and Apple. Go to ultra4racing.com/live. Go to the Ultra 4 or the Mid-America Outdoors Facebook and YouTube. Share it, start a watch party, hashtag it up. Make sure to tag everybody. And I hear some sirens. That is Mr. Woody Rose coming back into the short course. Not far behind Eric Weichel. So the white flag will be flying here in just a moment.
And Eric Weichel, it sounds like he just picked up his pace quite a bit as well. So we have right now 14 cars that'll be getting the white flag next time around.
There's Justin Barth hitting the Yukon launch. Remember, we do have 2 separate classes racing at the same time. Woody Rose heading out for his 5th and final lap. One more to go for Woody Rose. Can he keep it together? Time will tell. So we have the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class and the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. Where is Rick Levezzo or Dwayne Garrettson?
I saw Dwayne earlier.
So Dwayne's moved back in the field. Not sure what's happening with him. So let's go back up. Who's in first? So it is Rick Levezzo still in first place in the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class.
Ryan Taylor.
As Justin Hall just launched the Yukon launch.
And Ryan Taylor has taken over that #1 position unofficially right now from Woody Rose.
On adjusted time, Ryan Taylor stepping up.
He is turning it up.
So Ryan Taylor started 1 minute behind Woody Rose. What's the time split now? It is going to be down to the wire. It looks like 8 seconds is splitting Ryan Taylor and Woody Rose. So you know Derek and Lisa are on the horn saying, hey, you got to pick it up. Oh, no, and somebody's smoking. Who is that? I see, and I think somebody just popped the motor. I hope that's not Woody Rose.
I hope not
I hope
as
that's
well.
not Woody Rose.
Jeremy Jones just made a pass. I believe that was on Justin Barth.
And there's the Amsoil hot pits.
Down here over in the short course, we do have somebody stopped.
Is that?
That's Jeremy Jones.
That is Jeremy Jones. Yes. Okay. Jeremy Jones and Woody Rose look very similar. And like I said, a car pulled off in the middle of the short course, similar to where I think Woody should have been. So I'm not sure if that's him or not. I'll get some visuals here soon. Okay, I think I see him. So sorry if I'm speculating. I just can't see that far. But I do believe I see Woody Rose coming, still moving. So sorry about that, guys and gals. I just want to have a personal eyeball on Woody to make sure that's him, because Ryan Taylor is really starting to push hard. And yes, Woody Rose is still moving.
He is physically first on course, but on adjusted time, he's running in second position right now.
100% I see Woody Rose still moving.
And he's running headlights, so that's how we'll gauge that one.
But Ryan Taylor's not far behind him, and Ryan Taylor's in the prime spot right here, because he knows on adjusted time he's got him by a few seconds, but he can also judge how fast he's pushing with the dust. So Woody Rose doesn't know how hard Ryan's behind him because they don't have any spotters out in the woods or whatnot, but Ryan can really judge how far back he is by that dust as Ryan Taylor's moving up. And there is our physical race leader, Woody Rose, but on adjusted time, Ryan Taylor may sneak away. Ryan Taylor's only been racing with us for a full year now. He started last year in Moab, and Woody Rose started last year in Crandon. Was it Crandon or Sturgis? Sturgis. He started, I can't remember, one of those two. And so to see both of these newer names to the sport doing so well is awesome.
So earlier I was looking behind us here, and Brent Harrell.
It was Sturgis. Sorry, just going back on my name.
Brent Harrell, it looks like he was kind of limping it a little bit. Not sure if something's going on with his car or not, but he looked like he was really being very easy on his car, maybe possibly waiting to go to the hot pits.
We need to keep an eye out on Rick Lavezza, who's leading the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. He's had a strong run all day long. But right now, the battle is between Woody Rose and Ryan Taylor. I can't wait to see them coming back through. And Woody Rose is dropping down Bronco Falls right now.
And there he is on screen. He is in that switchback section.
So I started my unofficial stopwatch. Remember, they started in 1 minute increments, 2 at a time, side by side. Oh, and Ryan Taylor is starting to gain on Woody Rose. I'm going to say it's only 25 seconds. So he's got him by 35 seconds right now, unofficially. So Ryan Taylor has Woody Rose right where he wants him.
Oh, there's a great shot. That looks like Jeremy Jones.
It's a Trent Fab car. And look at Casey Gilbert's in the pits, giving a hand. I love seeing all hands on deck right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive that's Doc Jones right there in the hot pits. Getting that
tough
front
break. I knew tires were going to be an issue.
And he was running in that number 3 position, and he does have a gap between him and the 4th position car of a 1 minute 3 seconds. So
that's Tony Howard and Brent Harrell in the dust right there. Oh, I missed that one. Was that 44? Yes, that was Caleb Boschi, I believe. Him and his brother Josh hung out with them one night at Coconuts. Had a great chat with them. Oh, there's the Yukon launch.
So we have 6 cars that are out right now on their 5th lap, 5th and final lap. And there's the drone coming in for a landing. Here's zipping behind us here. The drone pilots are awesome. I never knew the difference between FPVs and like the DJI Mavics, and the conversation.
Pretty wild, isn't it?
Yeah, the conversation you were having this morning with Josh was pretty cool to hear. That buying a Mavic is way more expensive than the FPVs, and you would think that those little racing drones would be a lot faster. And that
And
was, like,
there
was
was-
Sean Rance?
That was Rick Levezzo, our
Levezzo.
physical race leader for the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle modified class, hitting the Yukon launch.
It looked like the same clip that
And we'll go
Sean
back
Rice
to
races.
we'll go back to Ford contingency money. If Rick Levezzo can win this in his class, he'll get $1,000 of Ford contingency money because he's running that Bronco Ford Clip. He's running a GM-based engine. If he was running Ford Performance, he'd get another $1,000, but he is not. So he'll get $1,000 if he can win his race.
And on screen is Dwayne Garrettson and, the 608. I'm sorry, the
that is Rick
680 of
Levezzo.
Colin Hornick. They were,
On screen's our physical race leader in the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle modified class. Rick and Chad Levezzo have a great run under their belt as long as they can keep it together for one more 5-mile lap.
and that downhill slope right there, we were just over there talking, and I was talking with Vaughn and Brad and Bailey. That downhill slope right there is such a weird camber, like you cannot take it at speed or it will make you nosedive.
And you can hear the horn. Rick Levezzo has the horn out for Trevor Foltz in this short course area. Rick Levezzo is in the lead in his class, so hopefully Connor can realize that and let Rick Levezzo around.
One good thing is there's wide areas right here that you can pass by.
And there he goes. I don't think he realized who it was, but then he kind of put it all together, realized that Rick is racing for the lead in his class. So the class act of Trevor Foltz pulls over, lets Rick Levezzo around as they head up and around, and hopefully we can stay on this shot and we can see them go down the little V-notch section. It's a pretty gnarly little spot. And that's the drag. That's the drag race we'll be doing tonight. Just to our right's the main stage where they had music all week, and this. The video never does it justice, but that is a super steep drop with lots of multiple ledges in it.
Mm-hmm. And that's where they did the hill climb the other day.
That's the knockout race. There's Jesse Lee. He must have got his serpentine belt back on. So great to see Jesse Lee still moving. And look at the cars going every which way on this 5-mile course, running 5 laps, 25 miles in total. But like I said, I can't wait to see the time split between Woody Rose and Ryan Taylor. That is Andrew Gorman and Chance Holloman still moving strong. Andrew Gorman is first in the national points, so he hopes to have a great finish. Remember, this is a double points race here at Visions.
So it's a big race for everybody that is going for those points. The ones that were hesitant on coming, but they knew they needed to or they had to. They made sure they put their time in, got their cars ready to get here. It's so crazy to see, like earlier when you were saying the drone footage of the cars all over the place. It's kind of like seeing it from above with the race cars all over the race course. It's like a little ant. Remember the little thing you put ants in? It's like a little ant home where they'd make their little tracks.
Are you trying to age me?
I'm aging myself.
No, I'm just joking. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that is Sean. No, yeah, that is Rick Levezzo and Trevor Foltz coming up the America Pro Rock Knockout Hill. And it's really getting blown out, you can tell, because they raced that yesterday, all the pre-running. They'll definitely have to dress that up. Crowd's starting to fill in. The pool opens, not for another hour.
Is it that time already? Oh, it's only 9 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That is Evan Sherman on screen. Oh, Ryan Taylor? Did I miss Woody Rose? No, I did miss Woody Rose.
We did miss Woody Rose. Sorry about that.
Woody Rose just came through getting the white flag, but Ryan Taylor is right behind him.
We'll see if that gap can be closed right here.
Oh, Pam, we were completely
wow.
off. Sorry about this. So that was the checkered flag.
Yes.
So Woody Rose just finished first, but on adjusted time, it is Ryan Taylor. I completely
I
apologize
thought you knew that. I'm
about
sorry.
So Woody Rose physically crosses first, but on adjusted time, it goes to Ryan Taylor. Where is Jeremy Jones or Tony Howard? There is so much going on here. I completely was a lap off in my head as that is Dwayne Garrettson at the Recaro Rise. So I completely apologize about that. But unofficially on adjusted time,
Look
it
at
is
that
Ryan
difference.
Taylor over Woody Rose.
Look at the difference in the time, the racer clock. Look how close they are in time.
On adjusted time, is it less than 10th of a second? I don't
So
know.
Ryan Taylor's racer clock is a 53:45.564, and Woody Rose is a 53:45.579.
Wow.
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 That close.
Wow.
That close.
2/100ths of a second. I mean, you can't get any closer to that. Racing for almost an entire hour, and it comes down to less than a second. That is absolutely insane. But again, a huge congratulations to Woody Rose and Ryan Taylor for finishing so strong. Woody Rose was out front the entire day, but it looks like Ryan Taylor sneaked the win from him on adjusted time.
And Jeremy Jones, looks like he's holding his line right now. We shall see how he holds up and if he stays in that third position, because we did see him in the Amsoil hot pit earlier changing a tire.
You want to come up here? Are you busy? So Jeremy Jones finishes the line in that third position physically, but on adjusted time, Brent Harrell just snuck into that third position. What a great race it has been, and it's not even close to being over. So unofficially, it is Ryan Taylor, Woody Rose, then Brent Harrell, and in that fourth position is Jeremy Jones. But we're still waiting for Rick Levezzo in that 4,500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. And with we still have quite a bit of time, so I'm wondering if JT's going to let these guys and gals keep running. Tony Howard just pulled off. He finished all 5 laps. He's in that unofficial 5th position. He'll be excited about that. Thank you, Chris.
All right, on screen just now is the 44 of Caleb Bashi. And now that is Eric Weichel. He is over in the switchback section. I cannot wait to see that later.
Yeah, so if you're just tuning,
Oh,
there's Jeremy
no.
Jones. No, he's already finished.
He's already
Don't
finished.
say
Okay,
oh, no.
that scared me.
You get scared easily.
Sorry, I was trying
There's
to
Justin Barth coming to screen.
do too many things at once, like I always do.
All right, it looks like Sean Reisky is heading out for another lap. Nope, he's pulling off as well. So I do believe
They should all be getting the checkered flag.
I was wondering because we have a lot more time, so I was wondering if they'd let him run another lap or not. But it's looking like they did close it. So I think we don't start the UTVs till what, 10:30? Is that correct?
Correct. So we have 6 cars right now that have taken the checkered flag, and we'll run through that really quick. We have the number 53 of Ryan Taylor in the number 1 position, the 4871 of Woody Rose in that 2nd position, the 56 of Brent Harrell in 3rd, 4837 of Jeremy Jones in 4th, Tony Howard in the 4805 in that 5th position, and the 866 of Sean Reisky in that 6th position.
And
that is all unofficial. They've all finished their 5th lap.
And that is for the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. We're still waiting for Rick Lavezzo. He should be the leader in the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. If you are just tuning in, we thoroughly appreciate each and every one of you. We are here at Mid-America Outdoors during Visions Week. This is Ultra 4 Racing presented by Progressive Insurance. We have some of Team Indiana trying to find their driver, Ryan Taylor, to congratulate him. Again, this is a double points race, so this would be huge for Ryan Taylor. Ooh, there is Dwayne Garrettson. He's been running in that 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. Been running strong all day long. And the dust is starting to get up here in the Nitto studio as well. Ooh, Sean Rance has a right front flat tire.
Ooh, that's unfortunate, but he has done all of his, he'll be completing all of his laps.
What places was he in last time around?
He was in 6th place last time around when he came through, but he is...
No, he's a lap down. He's only got 3.
Oh, Sean
Everybody else
Rance,
has 4.
I'm sorry.
Nope, you're good. Again, you
I
can
looked
go
at
to
that wrong.
live.ultra4racing.com and see the live timing that's in front of Pam right now.
I'll make sure I read it correctly.
No
Sorry
worries.
about that.
Hey, I goof up every day. There's nothing wrong with that.
I've had my coffee, but I haven't had any food. So
It's
Miss
right there.
Christina,
Take a
yeah,
break.
Miss Christina just brought me some food. You're eating granola bars, but you don't want me getting hangry over here.
There. And Sean Rance with that right front flat tire. We'll see how it shakes out.
From AOP, so dive you in there, and that's definitely something that you don't want to do. Pool. That's where we have been doing the awards all weekend long. It's kind of a nice thing because people can just still hang right there in the pool and be right next to where all the action is taking place. You can watch the races from the pool because there's a huge jumbotron MUTV class
And
here
how
in
cool!
just a bit.
How cool is it to have the jumbotron out there for the pit guys?
Yes, we've never
pit
had
guys,
it.
Their whole team is made up from some college friends, so Scott's kind of relaying some information for that. So really cool to see them new to the sport and having fun with a bunch of their college buddies. See everybody lined up. That's a really cool hot pit section. And this was a hayfield just a week